What's up, YouTube? Erod212 here with another video. So it's that time for the back nine, and wait till you see the topic today. Little hint and a hint right there. That's right. We're gonna touch on the best investment Copper Age and Bronze Age X-Men books for you to get. This is a topic near and dear to my heart. As you guys know, that is my favorite story arc of all time. But before we start that, I just want to give a big shout out to my man Ben from CBSI for putting up an amazing website and just putting out countless information. If you're a new collector, you must check out that website. But even if you're not, their top 10 and just different articles from different contributors is just amazing. Wealth of knowledge. I highly recommend it. Matter of fact, I'll leave a link in the description. Also, big shout out to our man Phil from Vintage Comics Toys and Vintage Comics and Toys. Phil is the guy who compiles all this and does all this work every week. That way I can present it to you guys. So kudos to him, man, because this is the man behind the scene that's putting in all the work. If you see him at any con, stop in, say hello, tell him Erod said to say hello. Also, check out both of those gentlemen on Whatnot. And thank you very much, everybody who showed up for my last auction last night on Whatnot, because it was a huge success. And I'm hoping to bring more fire next Tuesday to you guys. But you know what? I can't wait for this one. Let's get right into this right now and start up with this. So Phil says, it is game on for the X-Men with the appearance of Professor X in the Doctor Strange multiverse of madness. With con season here, it is time to go over what our best investment picks are for Bronze Age X-Men and Copper Age X-Men. I cannot wait to see what appearances will be next for the X-Men. Yes, values are down from last year, but they are trending back up again. Also, please let us know your picks down below in the comments. You know what? You're seeing, I see a large amount of people when I go to the shows looking for that run, especially the 94 through 142 run. People are clamoring for it, but now people are going for the lower end keys, and you're going to see some of those here that are great investment picks. The Pressable Defects, I talked about a book once that really took off, and there's a couple of other books here that you're going to be like, wow, that's a good investment, and it's still affordable. Some of them are more pricier, but still, I think it's a great entry point for anything X-Men now, because once we get a hint of a live action X-Men movie, game over. Everything is going to go through the roof. Let's go with our first pick over here, and it's a good one right out the box. And Steve Horn goes with X-Men number 141, Days of Future Past. Iconic story, iconic cover that includes Wolverine and first appearances. The story is unlikely to be adapted to the screen again, but this is a forever key that checks all other boxes. And you know what? That is a great term that I've never heard used, and I like it, a forever key. Think about it. 141 and the book at 142, Days of Future Past, one of the best X-Men story arcs ever written. I thought the adaptation of it in the movies was fantastic. Also, I don't think that anybody, once you start collecting comics, that is a story and two books that you should have in your collection. Now, remember I was talking about affordable keys? Well, let's take look at an affordable one right now. So Van Demby goes with X-Men 184, and this is the first appearance of Forge. I have picked Forge multiple times as a great key to buy, but I like the character that much, and I think his transition to Scream is pretty easy and could be great. And this is a book that a bunch of us in the community have spoken about. Forge checks a lot of boxes that the MCU utilizes to bring characters to life. And I think that he could be one of those new X-Men characters that they introduce. His mutant abilities, his scientific prowess. It's just everything that you really, really could see in the MCU. All right, and now we're going to go with Ali's pick. And he goes with X-Men number 266, First Gambit. First Gambit, the character that was done dirty in the Fox X-Men movies. Huge fan base. Feige will make him right. I think we'll see Gambit. We won't see Channing Tatum, I don't think. I'd be surprised, maybe a little nod to it. But Gambit was such a popular character, especially like with the 90s X-Men, all those kids that grew up watching Gambit and Rogue, and you hear their voices when you read that character. So that's something that resonates with a lot of people. I thought he was done well in the movie, but his own solo series, I don't know if we'll see that. It would be nice to see him as part of the X-Men, see him lighting up those cards and exploding, and talking with that French accent. That's just super cool stuff. Peter Redder picks a great one. He goes with X-Men number 107, the first Starjammers, and Gladiator. It's a little expensive, but probably still undervalued. I really like X-Men 107. Lots of firsts: Starjammers, Gladiator, and Shi'ar Imperial Guard, and the M'Kraan Crystal, which can be a new MacGuffin for sure. This can lead to so many different things. This is a book that I highly speculate on. If you see this book in the wild at an affordable price, get in. This is one of those books that you should be picking up the same way people were picking up the Moira McTaggart book. This is another book that you should be picking up. And now Jack Kornblatt goes with X-Men number 97, the first Shi'ar. Marvel has repeatedly stated their interest in expanding the cosmic corner of the MCU. Hard to think of an easier way to do this than introducing the Shi'ar, who have been a part of some of the biggest and best cosmic stories ever told. Furthermore, they also have a deep connection to the X-Men and thus have a really good shot at showing up in their MCU movies and shows. With lots of opportunities to show up, a ton of great stories, and a deep bench of interesting characters, the Shi'ar showing up in the MCU is not a matter of if, but when. And, there's so many good things that tie into the Shi'ar. If you watch the 90s series, that they touched on that a lot. But in the books, but also remember this: Wolverine's brown costume with the bow neck is initially taken from a Shi'ar guard. So that's how that costume starts off initially. Wolverine takes it from him in a battle because his costume gets destroyed. All right, let's go with the next one here. And Terry Hopkins goes with X-Men number 129, first Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde is a fan favorite that relates to many generations. This book hit a huge boom, but has gotten back to more reasonable prices. Book is still expensive, and not only is this the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, but this book's a triple threat. It is also the first appearance of Emma Frost, the White Queen, and the first appearance of the Hellfire Club, who play a gigantic role in the Dark Phoenix saga. It's the leading up with Jason Weingart and all of those guys leading up to everything and the corruption of her mind. So that's a great book. I mean, if you don't have that in your collection, it's a must as far as I'm concerned. Those X-Men Bronze Age and Copper Age X-Men books for a long time stayed stagnant, but people are really starting to come back to them. It's the books that everybody loved. And now we're going to go with a classic right here. Walker goes with X-Men 120 and 121. First Alpha Flight and first full Alpha Flight. Dazzler, Jubilee, and Bishop 104 for Starjammer carriers. Alpha Flight 120, 121 come to mind. But for the best investment, it's 120 and 121 for me. And Mike Morello goes with the book, besides Giant Size, X-Men 94, first new X-Men in X-Men title. The poor man's Giant Size X-Men. Still tons of room for growth, especially when the X-Men really hit Disney's version of the Marvel screen. Very difficult and high grades as well. It's got a darker background, gets a lot of spine ticks. Remember, it's the second appearance of Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Storm, and Thunderbird. So that's all. You don't get those first appearances. That second appearance is always a nice book to have. And now Phil is going to go with X-Men number 100, old versus new team cover, first X Sentinels. This is the first time the old X-Men face off with the new X-Men in a classic cover. Historically, market-wise, this book was always the one to get after Giant Size X-Men number 1, X-Men 94, and X-Men 101 when chasing Bronze Age X-Men covers. You also have the first Sentinels here, X Sentinels here, which are impersonating the old X-Men. Could be a plot they use to get rid of the Sonyverse X-Men. Maybe a far-fetched, but regardless, I love this cover, and it is the 100th issue, and it is a battle issue. And my man Phil knows battle issues carry a premium, especially when you have amazing artwork like that. The great Dave Cockrum on that book. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff right there. And like I said, I love this so much. This is my passion that I didn't pick one book. I went with two. and I'm going to show you why I went with 2 books. If you know me and you've watched my videos, you'll know that I collect and spec on the X-Men hard, and these are my 2 books. I'm going to go with X-Men number 104. Now, this is the first book I bought off the rack, so it's why it's important to me. But as a kid, I didn't know that this book had this significance. But as I said, so many good books to choose from. I'm going to go with X-Men 104. Not only is it an homage cover to X-Men number 1, but it's also the first cameo appearance of the Starjammers and the first full appearance of Lilandra, who can be the character used to take the MCU into outer space. I believe in this book. I truly do. Just look at that cover. That is a recreation of X-Men number 1, just with the new X-Men. And here's my second pick, and this is another book true and dear to my heart. And I'm going to go with X-Men number 133. I love this book. I'm trying to get this in as high a grade as possible. Right now, the highest I've got is a 9.2. This is a book dear to my heart, and I'm glad to see it finally getting its due. This is the first time we see Wolverine in a solo cover. It is also the first time we see his healing factor. Now, his healing factor was hinted on in issue 116, but in this issue, we actually see it working. I mean, just when he goes berserk underneath those tunnels there, as a young kid, anybody reading that, you're just like, wow, and it just drew me in, and Wolverine became my guy, and to this day, that is my favorite superhero of all time. But that's it. I mean, that was just a fantastic topic. Big shout out to CBSI and Vintage Comics and Toys for that topic, because I really like that a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave comments on their website on your picks. Also, leave me some comments here, and we could chat about it on my video right now. So that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take a look at these videos, because these videos both have some really good content on them. And until the next video, peace.